Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Barcast TV and to another episode of Barcast Daily. It is April 24th, 2023. We've got another great game for y'all, so let's go ahead and get into the replay. I'll introduce our players. Spawning in the top side of the map, playing as the red pieces, it's Lopatka. And his opponent, spawning on the south side of the map, playing as a blue Armada commander, it's MasterBel2. So, know we've had Lopatka on the channel before. I'm not sure if we've casted a 1v1 of MasterBel2's play. So, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the 1v1s. And let's introduce the map while these players are, getting their opening build orders under the way. This is Eye of Horus. Haven't seen too many 1v1 matches on this, and I'm not sure what to think of it actually just yet. It's got some interesting terrain here in the center of the map, really kind of narrowing down to these choke points. And frankly, some of these maps that have like a gap in the middle and, really that make defensive structures a lot more efficient. There's less ways to rotate around the map. I just don't really care for maps like this. I think it kind of makes for some stale gameplay. But, let's go ahead and take a look at the game before we actually make a decision on if that's actually the case. This is just from my brief experience. I think I've only played like 1 or 2 games on this map, so I don't want to disparage it too much before we get into it. And this is a very high wind speed map, so you won't be seeing too many solar collectors. We have a 4.3% wind risks to drop below 6 wind power, so be seeing a lot of wind turbines on this map. Don't have to worry about making too many solar collectors, but as I say that, I get proven wrong. Lopatka going for a solar collector here. Just wants to have some stable income and has chosen to go for a bot lab open. We can take a look at his opponent, MasterBel2. It's got a really interesting configuration on his wind turbines. I kind of like that, and has gone for the bot lab as well. So, just expanding, as one expanding engineer coming to the back. It's going to be moving to the left side of the map here. And MasterBel2 has some ticks moving across the map, so wants to find some early game damage. And Lopatka moving a grunt up across the map on this right side, so he's going to be looking for some damage. Going to try and find one of these expanding engineers, and Lopatka, rightly so. This is kind of interesting. He has one grunt just escorting these construction bots across the map on each side, so choosing to expand in left and right, not moving towards the center of the map quite yet. So really like this. I think I might start including this in my own playstyle. I kind of do some maybe variations of this, but just having a dedicated grunt per construction bot will get you out of trouble in some situations. And MasterBel2, meanwhile, moving to the right side of the map with 2 construction bots. I really like this style. You get these expansions up way faster. You can get LFTs up much more quickly. So pretty cool to see these double expansion gangs coming across the map. And Lopatka is finding some damage here. So this grunt already paying for itself. Grunts are about 36 mass. And these metal extractors are 50 apiece, so already, this grunt already paying for itself. Looks like it's going to be taken out by this group of ticks here. Solo goes down. Can't outrun the quick little ticks here on the board, and that's what MasterBel2's producing. He has quite a few already out, so 16 ticks already on the board. Looks like he's fanning them across the map here, looking for the incoming run buys, looking for those expanding engineers, and Lopatka there's a dedicated force here on the left side, so once again, he's going to be moving on to MasterBel2's side, looking for some expanding construction bots. We'll take a look and see if he's able to track those down and find them. Meanwhile, these 2 expanding construction bots on the left and right have capped their respective mexes. We have one LLT here in this little choke point. I really like the placement of this. We see that the attack range is just between these 2 mountains here, so great job placing that. And, this wind power dropped below 10 for a while, so both these players, I'm sure, might be stalling. We can see in the bottom right corner of the UI, neither one has much energy in the bank here, so take a look at the statistics. Metal produced within 100 of each other, so not a big difference here, 4 minutes and 15 seconds into the game, and saw a tick on the right side gets taken out, so looks like MasterBel2 is just playing conservative with these ticks here. He doesn't want to dive them into the enemy grunts. He just wants to hold them back, use them for the defense here, protect his expanding construction bots, and really nice. He has these double construction bot gangs on either side of the map, so His cap these mexes is adding on wind turbines with these ones on the right-hand side, trying to balance his economy before continuing to cap these additional mexes on the right side. There's a lot of grunts moving onto MasterBel's side of the map, so we'll see how he's able to defend against this. Just has a few ticks on this left side, one pawn I see. And MasterBel's going to be rotating to counteract this threat. I'm sure he has a radar up and sees this. He's going to be taking an engagement here. These grunts do outrange the ticks and pawns, so with proper micro you can really trade efficiently against these units. This LLT goes up in time. He's going to shoo away these grunts. And that's going to force Lepaka to move to the left side here. He's not going to find any damage done. These two LLTs are already finished on this left side, so great positioning. Love to see this radar covered by the double LLTs on the left side. Let's see if he chooses to dive into this. Nope. Takes a poke, sees the LLTs and moves back, but he's going to be cornered by these ticks. I don't think he can handle this engagement though. 17 ticks cannot stand up against 11 grunts, so MasterBel chooses not to take the engagement, and this is a nice little cliff here. Is this passable terrain? It is. You see these grunts running up this terrain here, rotating around the static defenses of MasterBel, and he has a lot of ticks on the board, so he might end up trying to go for an engagement here. He's gotten in range of these grunts here, and he's not able to use a superior range, so this is a great trade. Trading ticks for grunts is a great move. Takes out all those forward grunts from Lepaka and removes a lot of his standing army. So we'll take a look at the main base and player views of both cameras. Looks like Lepaka is still in the main base with his commander. He's got one construction turret already up. He's moving two construction bots to the middle of the board, trying to get some control over the center here. We see these actions queued up. He's going to be capping mexes and adding on a lot of LLTs here in the center. So really wants to protect this central part of the map so he can launch attacks into MasterBel's side. So pretty cool movements to see. He already has all these mexes capped on his top side of the board and is going to be reacting to this tick run by here. See a little bit of a lack of radar coverage. I know he has just a one radar in his main base, but I don't see any radar on the left or right side. So we'll take a look at MasterBel. Sitting here comfortably, has 3 gangs of expanding engineers, so it's going to be traversing over this terrain. That's a great radar placement. We can see he gives him a lot of coverage in this middle of the board here. And it's expanding on the left and right side with these double construction bot gangs. So continuing to add on radars, continuing to try and cap mexes. And here's some engagements here on the south side. Looks like these ticks are going to be dealing with these vulnerable mass extractors here, and he's not done getting damage. He's got 5 ticks in the back line here. Should be able to take out a few more mexes before these are dealt with. Lepaka, you gotta react to this. Gotta get some grunts in position. We see another mass extractor is gonna go down. So these ticks more than paying for themselves. We'll see if he's able to get any additional damage done. He splits off 1 tick to the right side. And I hear an engagement in the middle of the board, so we have a lot of these grunts looking for the damage. They spot this expansion gang here, and I don't think MasterBel is going to be able to react in time. He might end up losing these 2 construction bots, so we'll see how well Lepaka is able to run these down. We see he's getting around them. He's getting on top of that radar. 1 radar goes down, 2 construction bots go down, and he backs away. So that's some great free damage there. Doesn't lose any grunts for a couple of construction bots, but meanwhile in the back line, these ticks have more than paid for themselves, taking out so many of these mass extractors here. What was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mass extractors went down and still has these ticks in the back line looking for the additional damage. He might end up hiding those to come back later to re-attack those metal extractors if they're able to be put back up. And is he going to get another one? This is such great damage. These ticks can be so hard to deal with. They're so fast, so small. Can weave into your territory, sneak under your radar signatures, sneak past your units, and get a lot of damage done before you're able to react properly. So MasterBel adding on a vehicle plant here. So he's moved into this 2-factory production. He's adding on construction turrets and has finally decided to move out of his main base with his commander. So he has a lot of the board locked up already, half the board, and this is a lot of blitzes. He's able to get a huge amount of blitzes on the board, and grunts do not trade that effectively against these. You need to use their mobility and range. I think they actually have equal range. We can take a look at the blitz. It's got 180 range versus the grunts 230. So actually these grunts do outrange the blitzes. You need to keep the gap, the distance between these two units if you're going to be able to trade efficiently. And MasterBel's looking for damage. I think he's going to find it. There's 2 exposed construction bots right here. They just finished a turret in time, so these ticks aren't going to be able to get any additional damage here. And this game is stabilizing over this middle line. Like I said, this map is easy to choke up with LLTs and prevent rotation, so we'll see how both these players are going to be responding to that. We see Prolakbaka has moved into 2 factory production. He's got his vehicle plan up. He's making brute tanks here on repeat. So, hasn't decided to make any of these artillery shells, but I hear a rocket bot going off, so these are great for dealing with static defense. They outrange a lot of static defense here. You can park them in front of your enemy's front line and kind of chew away at these LLTs. So many LLTs on this right side of the board. And I really like this. Okay, so now I notice this map has got a lot of these traversable gaps between these mountain passes here, so that allows you to rotate around the map, not through these low ground choke points between these valleys here. So pretty cool to see. Didn't quite notice that the first time I played, and there's a lot of these ridges and gaps all along these mountains. So pretty cool way to move around the map here. We see this expansion gang marching into Lapaka's territory. That's going to get dealt with shortly. We see a radar goes down, 2 construction bots. And he's not done getting damage. We see 2 LLTs on the left side here. But they're depowered right now. They're not shooting. You see they can track these units, but we have a wind power stall right now at an inopportune time for MasterBel. Looks like this game might be heating up. We see MasterBel pushing forward with his blitzes here in the middle of the board. He's trying to clear out all these LLTs. He finds some in the center, and these brutes are trying to get in position to stop these, but you can just run right past them and avoid taking this engagement while still taking damage. So it looks like 1 LLT goes down, all 3 go down, and these construction bots might end up getting dealt with too. Yeah, so great damage. Moving in with these blitzes before your opponent's in position, but I see Lapaka has got a little gang of res bots here, so running in tow, they might be able to res these units. We see he's got the command issued. Doesn't quite specifically target these construction bots. I like to res these construction bots first, get those back on the battlefield, and expanding, adding on build power before you go ahead and res your mass extractors, your LLTs, what have you. So take a look at the big picture here. The map is splitting down the middle of the board. MasterBel's commander's in the center. He's just adding on LLTs. We see a run by here on the left side, trying to find some damage, but Lapaka's in position with his brutes. Wants to protect his economy. Wants to protect his expansions, and is adding on a lot of wind turbines here. So take a look at the statistics. Not before looking at this battle here. So we see these blitzes and brutes going toe to toe. Brutes, these medium tanks are a lot more effective against these fast-moving blitzes, and Lapaka is even have these flanking grunts. He needs to keep those moving with the army here. Would have had a much more efficient trade. Instead, these blitzes are handling themselves quite well against these stouts. Finally moves those grunts in position. Take a look at the statistics. MasterBel up by about 6k mass, 7k mass, so that's a pretty big deficit here for 13 minutes into the game. We'll see how Lapaka is able to counter this. He needs to take away some of this mass from his opponent. See, it's pretty decent reclaim field forming in the center. A lot of mass on MasterBel's side of the map, so that should give him even greater advantage if he so chooses to start reclaiming it. But we have a nice little push here. 6 tanks on the left side, taking out the LTs, taking out the static defense. And that's going to force MasterBel to move into position with a lot of blitzes and pawns. So really like this unit composition. It's fast moving. You can get to where you need to be very quickly. MasterBel sitting next to 6 LLTs here, so really going to help protect his commander. And these brutes are moving through the back line here. They have so much health. Really hard to deal with. And MasterBel runs them down quite nicely, so great job protecting your expansions. Not taking too much damage. See, these rocket bots on the right-hand side, or excuse me, artillery, trying to deal with these LLTs. You see they're slow firing, but they'll eventually whittle those down, so great job getting the free damage. And we have more stouts or brute medium tanks moving on the left side, so Lapaka is sensing some weakness here on the left side and MasterBel doesn't have a very big standing army. He's got some pawns and blitzes trying to deal with this group of medium tanks, but you really need a lot more firepower than this to slow these units down. We see more pawns moving into position, trying to catch these up. More blitzes moving into the right side, so this should end up getting cleaned up. So, nice job. You gotta move with the units, though. These brutes slipped by. He wasn't continuing to run with them, so this one LLT should slow this down. I don't think he's going to be able to get to this wind farm and trigger a train reaction. We'll see if he ends up targeting that. No. Alpaca did not target those vulnerable wind turbines. Real stacked up together. And we see a lot of reclaim is on MasterBel's side of the map, so on top of having a metal produced advantage here, he's got a lot of access to reclaim he can feed into his economy. Let's see if he has any kind of Resbots soaking up this eco. We see one moving its way into the field. Okay, here we go. Big Resbot gain. Looks like he's resurrecting these units, so choosing not to reclaim and put it into his own build power. Not sure what MasterBel's referring to. MasterBel, if you end up watching this, let us know in the comments what you are referring to here. A moment to stop being mad about recent game changes. So, curious to know what you think. I haven't been playing too long, so I'm not, privy to all the history of balance changes and updates they've been making to this game over its lifespan. And we have a big attack here in the middle of the board. Blitzes and pawns running into these twin guard turrets here. Twin guard's much more effective against units, and we have a push here on the right side, so a lot of tanks running into MasterBel's side of the map, and he's going to be shooed away by this factory production and LLTs here. I don't think he wants to end up taking this trade. He's running into a lot of units. Is Alpaca going to be targeting down these Resbots? I think he actually is, so great job denying this reclaim for now. And he's going to be moving back onto his side of the map, but not before losing the rest of those tanks, so this game's got a lot going on here. We still see a couple of these Lazarus trying to reclaim or trying to res these units. I still think it'd be better to reclaim these and put that mass into your build power. I mean, he's got 3 factory production right now. MasterBel has retreated his commander off the front line. He doesn't want to lose that to a cheeky snipe here, being out of position. And I think this game might be coming to a close. We see MasterBel has control of the center of the board. He's got control of these reclaim fields, and has these left and right positions here kind of locked up. We see this run by on the left side is going to be dealt with. These blitzes are not going to be following these tanks, so finally MasterBel turns them around. He's going to be catching up with those medium tanks here, and we have another engagement in the middle. More tanks for MasterBel, though, so doesn't have Alpaca. It's trying to find success somewhere on the board here, and MasterBel shooting him away at every turn. He's trying to get some damage done with these run-bys, but good response, good unit control. MasterBel is able to stop that advance into his territory, and I suppose the one saving grace for Alpaca is he's starting to add on these energy converters. He's dedicated so much time and mass into creating these wind turbines. We see he's sitting up about 200 more power than his opponent. So far, this metal produced is not expanding away, so still like a 6k difference between both players here, 17 minutes into the game, and we see the outcome of all these battles. We see extra units on the left side, extra units on the right for MasterBel, and he's going to be pushing into this large LLT wall. So many blitzes. Let's see how well these LLTs can deal with these blitzes here. That's going to force MasterBel to retreat. He doesn't want to donate that mass to his opponent. But meanwhile, on the right-hand side, these medium tanks are going undealt with. You need a lot of firepower to deal with these units here. They have so much HP. They're so tanky. Finally here, beamer turrets up, so a couple pounders have made their way out into the battlefield. These are so great against Tech 1 spam. They do really powerful AoE damage. And MasterBel is running into... Sorry, Alpaca is running into all the static defense of his opponent. So hard to deal with that. And we see tanks moving into the main base here, so they're going to be taking out these energy converters. They all go down. Is he going to continue to press forward onto these wind turbines? We'll take a look. And this isn't the only run by here. And that's it. Alpaca taps out, calls GG. So well played by both players. MasterBel ends up taking the game. Trying to think of what was the actual deciding factor in this. Perhaps it was all those run bys. Lepaka was donating a lot of his standing army, trying to push into MasterBel's side of the map when really he just needs to be denying these central mexes. Because as we discussed in our last video, it's really after you reach that split map position and get all the mexes on your side of the map, you really just want to be denying these central mexes from your opponent. There's really no need to like be pushing into his territory and taking out these mexes when he can just like easily stop it and then just reclaim that mass. So he donated a lot of mass to his opponent, a lot of his standing army, trying to deal economic damage. But you know, that's a conversation for another day. I don't want to disparage Lepaka too much. He's a great player and great part of the community. Thanks guys for playing this game, and I'll see you in the next video.